Hello everyone, Rabbi Abe here. Welcome to another video. So, I may have caught you off guard with the title of this video, Are Jews Cheap? Let's quantify this first off. What is a Jew? Okay? Jewish people are one of the few people where their religion is also a nation. In other words, if we would say an Italian person, you don't know if he's a Catholic, right? Probably is, but you don't know. And it's not that there are not Jews who also practice Buddhism and so on. But again, Jewish is a nation as well as a religion. Now, I'm not here to talk about religion, remember, because God is not a Jew or a Catholic or a Muslim or a Protestant or a Hindu or a Buddhist or anything. Things just don't work that way. We're here to discuss secrets that come from the Kabbalah, which is the Jewish mysticism, which was meant for all people to have access into understanding the energy principles of the universe so that our life can be better. So I want to discuss money because, again, there are stereotypes everywhere. There are stereotypes about Jewish people. There are stereotypes about every other people as well. I don't want to go into that area. But there is this idea of Jews and money and whatever it is, positive or negative. What we want to discuss today is how to increase the value of your money. Because as we all know, not every person's dollar is equal. One person's dollar may have the value of $10 or more. Another person's dollar may have the value of 1 cent or less. Now, what does that mean? What determines that? So again, I'm sharing secrets with you again from the Kabbalah that relates to success and money. This is specifically how to increase the value of your money. And this is something I learned from my teacher many, many years ago, who was a master of Kabbalah. And he explained to us, first off, that money is a potential energy. It, in fact, represents light, creative energy, which we call light. It's a God force, but it's obviously not the God force, but it's similar in that it represents the potential of energy to be revealed. Okay, so let's break it down a little bit, just so we can get the wheels turning. Money can be just about anything. Again, it is a transfer of your energy. So you put energy in, you work or you're in business. You put your energy in, what you get out is, hopefully, you get money in return. So it's an exchange of your energy. Now, that's a simple idea. Now, it doesn't need to be that simple. I want to just complicate it a little bit and go a little deeper because, if you put a lot of energy of thought, let's say as an example, a lot of creativity into what you do, your money will have more value. Again, what do I mean? Well, if somebody gives you $1 for doing nothing, what's the value of that? Again, value is sort of directly proportional to the level of appreciation. And appreciation is based on effort. So if I made a great effort for that dollar, I will have more appreciation for that dollar. And ergo, that dollar will have more value. That's one way of increasing value. Increasing value means injecting more energy, more consciousness, more thought, more effort into what we do that gives us the feedback, which is the money. So if I put more care, as an example, Again, you can do what you do with care or not so much care, whatever job or business you're in. The more care, which is an effort for us to put care, effort, energy, take time. It depends what you do, of course. Maybe you're impatient and you need to take time with someone, whatever. That's a type of effort which is going to increase the value of what you receive in return. So, that's one idea of increasing value in the exchange. Remember, you're going to receive money as an exchange of what? Of your effort, of the energy that you put in. But if you put less energy in, then the exchange, again, you may have the same $100, but that $100 will not have the value. Now, how does that play out, value? Well, it's very subtle. You see, this world, this universe, and our life is based on energy principles. Whether we're aware of it consciously or not, our life is guided by energy. Nobody asks us why we got the thoughts that we get in our head at any given moment, why we wake up feeling good today and maybe not so good tomorrow morning. Those things that we don't necessarily choose. And they come as a result of, again, many, many things. But again, the basis is energetic. And again, like we said before, money is a potential form of energy. Potential is stronger than actual anything. Potential energy is always going to be stronger than whatever is manifest or actualized. Again, why? Because you can have $50,000. Now, $50,000 cash, you can do a lot of different things potentially with it. You could put a down payment on a house. You could buy a car. You could furnish or refurbish or renovate your apartment. Whatever. You could give it to charity. You could do many different things. Why? Because it's a potential. But let's say you decide to buy a car. So you buy a car with your $50,000. The potential now has become actualized. It's manifest in a car. Now that car is not potential anymore. It's potential only in the framework of a car. You can drive it. You can go from point A to point B. It's limited, obviously, because you can't really live in it. You can't eat it. You can't renovate your house with your car. Again, whatever you could have done with money is now far more limited. Remember, money also represents the potential of many emotional aspects in our life. Because remember, ask 10 people what they want from their money, again, which is their potential energy, and see what they tell you. One person may want freedom. Another may want security. Another may want love. And I don't say that it can do that, but that's the idea that some people have in their head. Another person may want status. Another person may want members of the opposite sex to like them more. Again, the list can be almost endless of the potential perceived, and I say perceived, benefits of having X amount of dollars. Why? Again, because it's potential. So, again, think about it. This is great power. It can represent all types of emotional fulfillment. Again, I don't say it's real or it's perceived, or physical things that I want to buy fulfillment. So, of course, to increase the value in those, it means the moment I increase the value in my money, I also increase the value of what I have or what I want to have. Think about that. It's a deep idea. Because if I have more appreciation for the money that I have, then when I spend it, again, I may think twice. I may not spend it on that. I may spend it on this. So we've all heard the expression easy come, easy go. Now there's a reason for that, okay? Because that money doesn't have a lot of energy. Again, it could be a huge amount of money, but there's no value for me. Why? Because if I didn't earn it, if I didn't put energy into it, I didn't create appreciation for it, it will leave. I'll feel like I have a hole in my pocket and I need to spend it. And this is something to be careful of for anyone who is making money fast and your income is growing faster than you are, if you understand what I mean. Then you are emotionally prepared. So, generally speaking, and I never want to generalize, but most people who will win a lottery, let's say, as an example, are not emotionally built yet for that. They didn't create what we call the vessel to have that huge amount of energy. Again, because money is potential energy to be transferred into desires. So it could become, and usually does become, problematic. Even though I know we all think, wow, if I could only win that, I'd be great with it. Yeah, okay, good. Well, let's see what happens when you win. So, again, increasing the value of your money, we discussed. Number one is increasing the amount of effort in what you do that brings you the money. And again, it's about consciousness. It doesn't necessarily mean great effort. It means caring. It means having appreciation. Again, if you work on a job, for your coworkers, for what you do, appreciating, your environment. Again, appreciation is a huge, huge tool that increases value. Okay? It can mean extra effort, but again, care and appreciation and what you do immediately will increase your value and the value of what you receive in financial remuneration. That's number one. Number two, and this is a great secret. Sounds simple, but it's not necessarily that simple. So we buy things, okay? And think about it for a moment, how we calculate what we buy. And again, and it's not about Jews being cheap, but people who understand Judaism in a spiritual sense, that use actual spiritual tools, may understand this better than most. But this is a secret to be shared with everybody. And so, value, again, of an object, a physical material object. Let's say I can purchase a shirt for, I don't know, I'm not a big shopper of shirts, but, $25, okay? And I know that's lowballing it. Okay, fine. But it happens to be great quality, and it happens to be well made, etc. And I paid $25 for it. Now, it has no name, okay? It's not a known name shirt. Okay. Well, I have, again, now, if the average shirt is $60, $80, $100, then there's a tremendous amount of value in what I purchased, right? Because I got a deal. No, it's not because I got a deal. Again, we could think that way, but that's a simplistic understanding. Getting a deal. Getting a deal isn't always a deal. It's not about that. You have to have quality. You should have quality, a well-made shirt. But if you're paying too much or overpaying for the exchange, you are lowering the value of your money. Again, and that needs to be explained. Okay? I explained a rule in another video, which is related, and we'll come back to that, about if you wouldn't buy something for full price, don't pay half price for it, okay? Because you are lowering the value. So again, that is related. It's not directly this, but I just want to add it in there. I don't want to forget. So why? Because you don't really want it. You don't have desire. Now, desire potentially creates value. But what is it that you desire? So if you don't really have a true desire for that thing and you wouldn't be willing to pay full price, if you should, it's a big if you should pay full price for such a thing, then don't buy it at half price because you don't have true desire. So that was that rule. But here we're saying something else. How much should I pay? How much should I pay? How do I increase the value of my money? Well, here's the thing. The general rule is this. When it comes to spiritual things, what is an example of a spiritual thing? Helping someone, maybe giving charity, feeding the poor, things like that. Things that don't have to do with me directly, me or my family, because, our families are us, part of us. Helping my community, okay, is another thing. When it comes to those things, do your best not to scrimp. Do your best not to scrimp. Why? In other words, don't be cheap about it. Why? Because spiritual things expand. Spiritual things have way less limitation and sometimes no limitation. In other words, if I give real charity, and that's probably another discussion, but a truly worthy cause. In other words, there's a difference. Think about it. If I give my money that I put my energy into, remember, money is a transfer of energy, and I give it to a person to buy drugs or alcohol with, this is how my money, my energy, it's an extension of my energy, is being revealed. For someone who's going to buy alcohol, means my money, my energy is going to reveal negativity in the world. Not again, if I feed him or help him, then the opposite. But buying alcohol for him is not going to help him, and giving him more drugs is not going to help him, right? Certainly not long term. So, again, how my energy, which is my money, is revealed in the world is the energy that I'm putting out. Indirectly, but I'm still putting out that energy through the messengers. And the messengers are people or things. Now this will make more sense. So if I waste money on a brand name, just because I want the name, well, you'd probably need to talk to your analyst about that. And I know some of us love, and I'm guilty of it too, because it has this name. And I know we say, oh no, but there's so much well made and there's so much more comfortable. And that's very well true sometimes. But sometimes I just want the name. What's the matter? Our own name is not good enough. In other words, where your head is, that's where it is. I didn't tell you not to buy a name, a famous, popular name. But if it's all about that name is going to make you feel good about yourself, I think that's a spiritual question for you to ask yourself. Is that, the way you want it, right? That you need someone else's name to feel good. And perhaps we never thought about it in those terms, but I'll tell you, I do. Do I need someone else's name to make me feel good about myself? No, I don't. But if it's really, really, quality item, okay, fine. Not a problem. And it happens to have a good name. Great. The point is, for physical things are limited. Physical things and material things that we buy are limited. And therefore, we should look for deals. We should look for deals. Yes, we may be willing to pay full price, but we should look how, where I can find maybe the same thing cheaper. Why? Because I'm limiting the energy that I'm giving to limitation. Remember, this is a coffee maker. It can only make coffee. I can't wear it. Well, if you can find the same coffee maker cheaper, why would you buy it in a more expensive store? That's not going to increase the value of what you have. Excuse me. That's going to decrease the value of your money. You understand? If I needlessly pay more for the same item, but, it's a prestige thing for me, and I know people like that. They're not happy if they can pay less for the same thing. They're happy if they pay more. I personally don't understand that. You can buy more things if you save 10% here, 20% there, right? It doesn't, and you can, spread it around more evenly. In any case, look for the deals. Try to spend less on the material world. That's number 3 in a nutshell. Spend less on the material world. Again, buy what you need to buy, but spend less on it if you can. Spend more on the spiritual world, on helping others, on doing actions of kindness, because those things return back to us. Money spent on material goods doesn't return back. First of all, it's only for us. Second of all, again, it's limited. Once I purchase the shirt, it's a shirt. It wears out. Positive actions that we do with our energy, they never wear out. They expand. They're expansive. Very important. Okay? So, what did we talk about? 3 things. 3 things. Number 1, the understanding that money is an extension of our energy, and we are responsible to increase the value and not decrease the value of how our energy, which is our money, is revealed in the world. Number 2, remember the rule, again, if I wouldn't pay full price, if I wouldn't be willing to pay full price, a good price, on that item, then I shouldn't buy it at 50%. Why? Because I don't have true desire for it, and it's going to end up in a drawer or in the garage in storage somewhere. Number 3, limit the amount of energy or money that I spend on the material world. Look for the bargains and look for the deals, not because you're cheap, not because you don't want to spend. In fact, it may be difficult for you to do that, but because it will limit your energy from going into limitation. I want to limit my money from going into things which are limited. On the other hand, I want to be generous with the spiritual world, to help others, to give, to help the world, because that expands. And the more energy that I have, the more I can give, the more I have in all things. Because in the end of the day, energy is everything. It's our happiness. It's everything that we need in our life. But the truth is, those things will never come from money itself. But it sure does have a lot to do with what we do with our money, which again is an exchange of our energy. Be blessed, guys. Remember, where your head is at, that's where you're at. Remember to give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe so you're notified whenever I put up a new video. Hit the little bell icon, and I will see you in the next video. All the best.